Hello everybody. It is episode 216 or season 4, episode 3. Welcome back to the vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live stream. And I have a huge dollop of advice for all of you gaming channels right now. Just leave this live stream. I wouldn't usually give this advice, but just leave now, because there is only one topic that you want to be covering, and that's Microsoft buying Activision. You don't need our help today. That is your advice. Make a video on that topic as soon as possible. But if you are going to stick around, then welcome to the Tuesday channel audit live streams, where we welcome you creators into our classroom, our lecture theatre, our learning hall, where we'll take a look at your channels and share our knowledge, our wisdom, our experiences, our stories of the YouTube journey. And of course, I could not do this without my usual gaggle of co-hosts and good friends, and welcoming first for his hot take on the biggest gaming news of probably the last decade. Hey, Dan, how are you? Surprised as usual. What's your take on Microsoft buying Activision?
Video games.
Video games. All right. Awesome.
I would say that if you're going to cover it, though, on your channels, just find a way to relate it to your audience. Because if you're not a news channel, it might be tough to take that angle, but maybe you play one of their games. Maybe you play Microsoft games. Maybe there's a way to kind of tie that in.
All right. Nice little advancement on my suggestion. Good to hear. Welcoming next into the vidIQ channel auditing hot seats, it is a return for Travis. Hey, Travis, how you doing?
Hey, now.
Any more monitors added in the background there? No, I think you still got the same amount. Good to see ya.
Hey, good to see you too. Ready to get into some channel auto talking.
Brilliant.
See, I said it really fast, so you thought I said auditing, but I said auto talking.
And welcoming, last but not least, his debut appearance of 2022. It is the coolest, shrewdest auditor in the universe. It is El Jefe Jeff. How's it going, Jeff?
I love turtles.
He loves turtles. Which one in particular? Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael?
I've always been a Raphael man myself.
The Joker of the crew.
That's right.
Isn't it Raphael?
I preferred Donatello, and do you want to know why that is? Because he loves machines.
That's right.
That was the intro, wasn't it? Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. That's it. Raphael is cool but shrewd, but Michelangelo is a party dude. Cowabunga. Continue on in your own head if you were of that particular generation. Or how about DuckTales? You're not going to get that tune out of your head.
DuckTales. Ooh.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's over.
All right, let's say hello to some people in the chat. If you do want to say that, yes, Raphael is the best there. Koyfish Gaming agreeing with us there. Hello to XT there. I'm going to say hello to T-Tran T-Tree there. And hello to the unknown 342. Dan, you say hello to some people as well.
Fine. Okay, fine. John, hello to you. The Bev Mode, hello. Illusion, hello to you. Torpedo Tyler, I think that was their name. It's gone now. Hello to you. And Minecraft Transformers, how's it going?
God Mode. Ooh, he's in the house. Travis, do you want to say hello to some people as well?
Let's see. Maxim HD, Mocknix, Shell Tech, the Everything Teen Podcast. That's kind of an interesting name. I like that. Explore Ipswich. And of course, we have, what is that? Simple Smoothies. I like the idea behind that.
Perfect pronunciation of Ipswich there as well, Travis. Well done to you, sir.
I'm familiar with. I've heard of Ipswich before.
Cool. Jeff, who are you going to say hello to?
Let's see. I see some. We got some minor celebrities in the chat. I see Mr. Jonk is in the house. What's up, Jonk? How you doing, brother?
Clearly a minor celebrity.
Another minor celebrity.
How is he going to take that? How's he going to take that?
And then we got another minor celebrity in the house, Mr. Paul Peck. Appreciate you seeing you here.
Well, no, he's just a very boring celebrity.
That's right.
Wait a minute. Jeez, Rob. What is wrong with
we have this personal relationship when I say there's an audience for everything on YouTube, even watching paint dry, and Paul Peck drywall is your man.
Yep. He's a man.
But he is a moderator, so we have to say thank you very much for that. Sorry, Jeff. I'm talking.
John says he's just to be classified as a minor celebrity is flattering, he says. So much love to you, Mr. John. But also want to say hi to Mustif. How you doing? And to Sam the Pokemon. I like it.
Not a celebrity yet, apparently. Okay, welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream. I did ask you if you were going to share this live stream with others, and 62% of you have. So we love you. Thank you very much for doing that. If you haven't shared it yet, please do so with fellow creators who may find this useful. If you are brand new here, do make sure to let the chat know, and they will welcome you and embrace you with open arms. And we're just going to remind you how this live stream is going to operate for the next couple of hours in the form of a 60-second video. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using the link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. And the final bits of housekeeping, as always, we continue to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund with Super Chat, so any money goes directly to that cause. Thank you in advance, but there is no obligation. We get hundreds of channel submissions every single week. Unfortunately, we can't audit all of your channels, but we are here as a collective to share our experiences. And what we want you to do is learn, irrespective of if your channel is being looked at or if it's a gaming channel, tech channel, etc., etc. So if you can, try and put your channel on a second screen so that as we're talking about channels live, you can take that information and look at your channel and say, oh yeah, maybe the thumbnails could do a little bit of tweaking here, or my channel focus isn't quite right. And finally, we are not just a channel auditing service for 2 hours every single Tuesday. We are a suite of amazing tools that are going to help you grow when you're doing research, or you're auditing your channel, or you're looking to make better thumbnails. What I want to demonstrate very quickly to you today is our most viewed tool. And I've just done a quick search for Microsoft buys Activision, and these are all of the channels that are trending with that content right now. So if you wanted to add your own unique voice to the conversation, as Dan suggested, then maybe you want to take a look at these videos that are performing very well and try and tweak what you're going to be talking about. For example, this channel right here, which has 9,000 subscribers, has a video that has 4,500 views. And I think that's a pretty good performer for a channel of that size in the space of 11 hours. So this channel's breaking out here in this topic, but they were very early to the party. They jumped on it 11 hours ago, pretty much when the news story first broke. With all of that being said, though, let's take a huge pivot to a different topic. And the first channel that we're going to audit here today, Dan, Travis, Jeff, are you ready to take a look at the first channel that submitted this week? Yes, it is the Humming Spot. They have 70,000 subscribers, and just from the channel banner and the channel icon and some of the thumbnails, this looks to be a channel which is about hummingbirds. How do you build an audience out of that? Well, they've clearly done just that. How have they done it?
Focus.
Focus power.
That's right. Focus. The power of focusing. But I'll let you get started, Rob.
Me? I've just been talking for 5 minutes.
No reverse card.
This is a bit where I hand over to my guests. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to remove myself for the next 2 minutes. You're on your own, pal. See ya.
So,
yeah, no, go for it, man.
You know what's cool about channels like this is that they put up these live streams. There's one right now, and they just like stick a camera on a nest, and people can just come watch and hang out with the hummingbirds in real time, which a lot of channels that do things with animals will do something like this, especially like animals in the wild. They just set up cameras, and they have special access probably. Maybe they have a national park that they're associated with, or it could be just their backyard, attracts a lot of hummingbirds. But what I'm assuming they're doing is taking clips from those live streams if they're not, they should be taking clips from the live streams and repurposing those into bite-sized videos, whereby the hummingbirds, like laying eggs, for example, like that's like a big moment. So they'd have that on the live stream. Maybe to detect when that happened, they look at their data and see, oh, right around 20 minutes, chat kind of freaked out. So they can go and see that everyone was really excited that the hummingbird was laying some eggs. Now it's its own video with 27,000 views.
Yeah, it's a good one too, man. I mean, obviously it's an important moment, but it's good to see that there. So that definitely works out. And it's funny, we actually get a lot of hummingbirds here. The house we moved into, they had like some hummingbird feeders, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They have some hummingbird feeders. I didn't realize that they actually hung out here a lot. So it's kind of cool to see them, flying around the house, which is pretty interesting.
Time to get a second channel going.
That's right. I got to set up some of those cameras around here. What they call them, trail cams, I guess. But overall, I mean, this is looking pretty good. The only thing I would say, although you could take this with a grain of salt. Normally, the thumbnails are a little bit too wordy for me. It's a lot going on there, but I'm not going to argue with the success that they're having, because some of these are actually pulling a lot of views, which is pretty interesting. And then I think we have we have the live stream going on right now too, right now as we speak. So it looks like that could be I don't know if that's a 24/7 thing, but yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that happening at the moment.
You know what I think isn't working is their trip to Antarctica. It's something. I mean, they're getting views. It's not that nobody watched it. It's just, this is a channel about hummingbirds, and they are doing other things with other birds, but it just doesn't, unfortunately, kind of resonate with the same audience. Plus, it's a very long video.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right?
It's a little departure of what they're usually doing, but I don't see if they're doing anything different, because we need Rob to sort through these videos. So
I'm back. I'm here. Most popular, yeah?
Sure, why not? Let's see. No, I mean, we're right on point. Yeah.
Looks as if the thumbnails that work best are when the nest is there and the hummingbird is in there as well. I thought it was interesting in that you mentioned this one about visiting Antarctica. Like, who else gets to do that on YouTube? It was probably a handful of people who have YouTube channels that have been able to visit Antarctica, and yet this creator's done a video about that, and it hasn't really resonated with the audience. Whereas, look at one of the most popular ones where it looks as if they're just sat on the couch having a conversation, and that one gets 50,000 views, and that clearly shows how sometimes it doesn't matter of a location or the money you invest or and that type of thing. It's the viewer has either subscribed or is watching the channel on a regular content for a specific thing, which is presumably hummingbirds, and that's what they're going to come back for. And I'm not necessarily into penguins in Antarctica for this particular audience.
You know what's I'm noticing with this channel compared to like some of the gaming channels I see is the stuff that works really well is like, here's a hummingbird with a nest and it's hatching eggs or laying eggs, some kind of big moment, right? For a lot of gaming channels, they have this thing where there's like, if a new game comes out, you can kind of really thrive on the news and the excitement around updates and things like that. So those videos tend to do really well. And then when they kind of shift and try and fill out the channel between updates, it's not doing as well. And I think this channel is suffering from the same exact issue, where it's like, people love it when I can catch the hummingbirds doing something epic, but in the middle of that, it's really hard to get views. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. That's why you're seeing them experiment with like trips to Antarctica and things like that.
And my final thought here is shorts. Not necessarily on this channel, but I'm right in thinking that hummingbirds are the birds that are kind of stay in one position for a few seconds while they're either feeding or whatever. And you can capture them in these really beautiful, almost cinematic clips. And if hopefully you have a mobile phone that can maybe do 240 frames a second, you can capture them in a really visually appealing way and create maybe visually satisfying short clips that you can try as shorts. That would be something to maybe try, but I think on a separate channel. All right. Any more thoughts, or are we good to look at the Hummingbird Spot?
Hummingbird Spot.
All right, then. Let's move on to the next channel. This is the first gaming channel that's submitted this week. And it is Veronica. how did you pronounce that surname?
Kocy?
Koch, maybe?
Maybe, something like that.
It's Veronica. And Veronica is making Sims 4 stop motion builds.
Interesting.
Nice.
Now, interesting concepts. When I look at the thumbnails, though, do I get a really strong Sims 4 vibe here? Maybe it's because I've not played the game, but I almost get the vibe of this could be a channel that's doing 3D modeling or animation for real estate.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering if maybe we don't often suggest adding a branding, but maybe the Sims 4 is like a little bit of branding on the thumbnails could help. Just a thought as I look at this and first impressions.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of videos in this space. If they're not willing to put their own face in it, some text actually does help, because these are design videos, and it just kind of adds a little bit to it. Because sometimes when you take a big wide shot of a house, it's hard to see what's going on. I've noticed some success there. The channel that is kind of dominating The Sims 4 and does a lot of design content is called Lil Simsy, and they've been around for ages now, it seems.
This one done?
Little Simsy, so SIMIS.
Not that music artist.
No Z in it. There's no Z.
There we go.
No, I don't know if there's a Y either, but let's see if it. Yeah, there we go. So this is kind of the first person I would look at when I'm thinking Sims, because they tour builds. They do similar things whereby they're just kind of making interesting Sims builds and kind of sharing them with the audience, but they heavily rely on the YouTuber faces in their thumbnails. And we noticed that last channel we were on didn't even have like their face in the profile picture, so they're probably trying to do this facelessly, which means they gotta bring something to those thumbnails that helps, because as you can see, it's really zoomed out houses and things like that, and it's kind of hard. I built a winter starter home. It's like, well, you kind of need the winter starter home there, but from a distance, it doesn't really look like much. So having that face, the branding on their content really helped.
What do you think about the titles? It looks as if they're doing Sims 4 stop motion as a secondary part, and then the build as the front loading of a title.
I would say, well, although these are perfectly adequate titles, people can look at them and know what's going on. I would say it's time to play around with them a bit, because they've been doing this style for a long time, and it's not really getting them the growth they probably would want to see. I think they're a little too simplistic. And I think what they could be doing is trying to focus, instead of I built this whole thing, make it more about one aspect of the build and try and like get a little more emotion in there. If you go back to maybe Little Simsy, there might be some examples we can point to.
Do you think they need more of this, like a bit of context adding to the thumbnails?
Yes.
Before and afters, how long it took to build, that type of thing.
See, that before and after one's great, because it focuses on one aspect of a larger build. It's like these windows before and after, and how to change windows in apartments. Like both of those, everything just kind of works together, and it's about, again, one thing.
Then this was Little Simsy again.
Yeah. Building my Sims their dream house. Kind of an interesting, so like they have a little arrow pointing and it says dream backyard, but it doesn't say what kind of house it is. None of that context is there. They just kind of said, this is my Sims dream house, so you're just going to need to watch to figure out what that means. I don't know. I think with titles like that, you can play around. There's a little more intrigue.
The titles are very, very, very much more engaging, aren't they? They're challenging the viewer in some ways. If you watch this, you'll see this, or I'm going to be trying this, or this is a danger that happened, as opposed to this again, which almost again feels a bit like a real estate listing.
Yeah, I think it's time to play around with the titles and thumbnails and make it, you have incredible builds here. Can you take one part of it, the most challenging part, the most intriguing part of that build, make that the thumbnail, and then focus all of the title and thumbnail energy on that like one thing? It's all right. One strategy you can try.
Beautiful stuff. So that is a Veronica difference of opinion surname in how we're trying to pronounce it with the Sims 4 build. Let's move on. And I am desperate to get Travis involved in the conversation here. So we're going to look at his pick, which was metal bricks. We always seem to have at least one Lego channel a week, Travis. And so why did you pick this one?
Well, because I think stop animation is interesting. And, we always like those channels. And I think at the end of the day, they're hard to do, and shorts might be a great place for them, but I'm not sure if any of these are actually shorts. They all have like thumbnails, but are they actually shorts?
I don't think so. This one in the top right-hand corner, that's landscape.
Yeah. So a great opportunity for something like this to really get a whole bunch of views. Now, by the way, you know, if done well, they can still survive on YouTube. I mean, every once in a while you'll see these smaller, these shorter videos, even in, you know, particular proportions, starting to work really well. I feel like YouTube is starting to promote those. But I mean, there's no reason not to put these in shorts, it seems like. Just a little bit of you know, making sure that everything's in frame, and if you're taking the time to do this anyway, you might as well put it out in front of a bunch of people, and it feels like something like this, if done correctly, could blow up really quick. But I like, and the other thing is, you wouldn't have to worry about thumbnails, which, you know, compared to what you have to do right now, like I think your thumbnails could use some work. But if you have them all in shorts, there's a couple shorts there. If you had them all in shorts, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
I'm wondering if I sort by most popular. Yeah. So they are aware, or they should be aware, that shorts do well for their channel. So maybe there's a conscious decision that have decided not to do shorts.
I mean, it's possible
for whatever reason. Yeah.
You know, the only thing you really have to pay attention to for something like, for a channel like this, shorts versus not shorts, because again, all of their content is shorter. So it almost just makes sense just to be really focused on that. Is of course, like, how much can you get on camera and how much can you see and that sort of thing. So at the end of the day, this is one of the few channels where I would say I would definitely dig more into shorts for your content. If you were making longer form content, different story, but so much of your content's under like that 30-second mark, which I believe Dan was saying is a really good number for shorts.
Now, just looking at some of the timings here, Spider-Man came out a month ago. They were doing some Spider-Man stop motion, and the view count seemed to be pretty strong there, which was encouraging. But then they went off and did other Lego things, and then I think they returned to Spider-Man again like 2 weeks ago, when maybe the trend has just fallen off a little bit. So again, a little bit of a timing question there about when you want to create content. Dan, I want to ask you this. We're not often able to look at content itself, the videos, because my internet is terrible. But obviously these look as if they're thumbnails from the stop motioners themselves. And I have a big question about quality here. And I'm wondering if you're on the same wavelength as me.
I think they're trying. Like looking at their latest thumbnails and stuff, it looks like they've built a little more of a set with some different color paper in the background. And maybe the intention there is to eventually like use chroma key sets, things like that. That might be what's going on. I definitely think we need to see that quality continue to get leveled up, especially if you change nothing else about the actual quality of the videos in terms of your lighting and your camera setup. You should really be taking more time on these thumbnails. Like I can imagine a much better thumbnail for Thor Rex Lego Man. Because right now you got the two characters as far to the edges of the frame as they possibly can be, and there's nothing going on in the middle of the frame except like a green background. So instead it should have been like Thor with the hammer coming down on top of the Lego Man, you know. And even if that action didn't physically happen in the video, at least like that's a more eye-catching thumbnail, you know. And in the video, you're delivering on the promise of Thor wrecking the Lego Man. It's just happening in a different way. So really think about this stuff from the viewer's perspective, because like rule of thirds could really be practiced in that thumbnail, and nothing kind of falls into that at all. So if nothing else changes, definitely like up your thumbnail game. In the meantime, work towards making some changes on your set, because I see a lamp in the background of a lot of these. Like it really doesn't feel like you've created a dedicated space for this, but you've been making enough videos now where it's probably about time you consider, like, you know, just the professionalism of the whole thing, and try, like, with what you have. I'm not saying spend money. I'm just saying try to like really dedicate some space to this.
And with the lamp, I'm wondering if that might be their main source of lighting, because what you're seeing here on this content in the thumbnails is like a soft orange yellow tint. And that's all to do with color temperature. So if I was to give some advice to this person about maybe improving their set, this is kind of what your lighting looks like right now, kind of this yellow orange glow. It's because of the color temperature. But if you are able to change the color temperature of your lights, you get this nice clean white light instead. I'm not saying you buy one of these specifically, but you can buy bulbs that have a high color temperature and put that in your lamp, and that would be relatively inexpensive. So unless you're going for this purpose look, which to me makes it look a little more amateurish and like you haven't really considered lighting, which is fine. Maybe you haven't got the experience yet to understand that, but that's maybe something to look at going forward as well to improve the quality of your content and your set.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Metal Bricks. Any final thoughts here, Travis, or are we good to move on?
I think it's good. Wish them the best of luck. It is not easy doing stop motion, so I have a lot of respect for a channel that does that.
Yeah, the amount of time it takes. I mean, you look at 15 seconds, what theoretically, if you got to capture 24 frames in that 15 seconds, or however many prepared to do per second to get that animation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, stop motion certainly as tough as animation. Move on to the next channel. It's going to be our tweet winner. And I think I haven't set it up correctly. So we'll come back to the tweet winner in a second. First of all, we'll look at this channel. And I'm just going to set up a tweet thing in the background. So Frozen Ice. Yeah, just general impressions on this one. I think we're going to see a challenge and a theme in this one very quickly.
What's up with the ore thing? What is
everywhere?
That?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Shoes, Spider-Man, only cubes, shooter games, CPU. How can CPU have 388 views? Like, how is that possible? YouTube is amazing. Who's best? Core i9. Okay, that's I get it.
A little long.
Yeah, a little long. Ryzen. Nothing wrong with it as a question. This would probably be better as a community post, but okay. Which one do you think is better?
No feedback or comments.
Wait, hold on though. They did get a thumbs up and a like from themselves.
Okay,
which is
okay.
Always a good thing. Definitely always love your own comment.
So it's all versus content.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that just as pets.
As shorts, I believe. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the thing is like shorts isn't really created for engagement. Really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a usually if you're watching, a short which is like 20, 30 seconds at most or whatever. I mean, how often are you leaving a comment about that unless it's something extraordinary? Because it's going so fast. And the platform itself isn't really set up for you to easily leave comment. I mean, to be honest, the mobile app I could talk about for a while. Like I'm super not happy with how hard it is to even find comments when you're watching a video. But shorts is even more kind of hidden. It's not really meant for that sort of thing. So I think this is the wrong platform for that. I wonder if this works on TikTok. I don't know, but I wonder if that's more of a thing that like it's obvious that it works there because it's even got the TikTok colors on it. So this must be repurposed TikTok, right?
In Instagram Reels or Stories, you can actually set up these like questions and answers, can't you? Like you can make them interactive. Whereas on Shorts right now, it is very much a passive experience with you can add a comment and nothing more.
I think you can in Stories too, actually. If I remember, yeah, you can Stories, I think, or something.
Sort of.
There's something you can do with it.
So you can put a sticker on there, and then you can reply to questions.
Creators can do video responses, yeah,
right.
but not from a viewer's point of view. That it is still just watching and commenting.
Yeah.
So what we're thinking here is that maybe this is the wrong platform for this.
I mean, I don't know. Like when you see something that says, like, I don't know what to name it, and it gets almost 1,000 views, or something kind of weird about that. Like, what exactly made YouTube think that was something that a lot of people would want to watch? It's very confusing. Internet. What browser do you think is better?
Sorry, what was that? So the choice is Google. Oh no! So is what is a search engine? As an email?
So it says this was a joke. Who's the best? So if you scroll down, what are the answers actually saying? Or answer Google. I use Yahoo more than most. Spread the gospel first, like Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably not relevant, that one.
But definitely Yahoo. I use Yahoo more than most. Okay.
I wonder if this creator's watched a lot of shorts or TikToks, because I've just never seen anything like this on either platform.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't get it, but it might not be for me.
It might not be, but it's a lot of marketing views. Like some of them get something. It feels like it's not for a lot of people.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really interesting. They have had some successes, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Frozen Ice. I now think I have my Twitter thing up correctly. So let me just put this in the right spot. And so what we did here is a channel audit contest, and we wanted to know the best advice vidIQ has given you. And for Luke's, our advice of making thumbnails more appealing to the eye was their best advice. They went from A to B. So, wow, look at the transformation there. They had thumbnails that look like that to thumbnails that look like that. Certainly,
wow.
Ooh, look at the views.
More pop,
views on that.
more direction on the thumbnails. That was great to see. And so that was our winner of the Twitter contest this week. And so we will try and help Luke's perhaps even further with their thumbnails if they so need that advice.
Look at that video with 180-something thousand views. Look at it in 1 month.
Wow.
This is all the videos they have?
Yeah. So Minecraft channel,
Mhm.
3 months old. They've got 5,000 views, subscribers, and they've already got what, 250,000 views?
Wow.
Nearly.
Did they maybe unlist a lot of older videos? We do give that advice quite a bit too.
Sure, yeah. Go to about. When did this? I mean, there's no real way to know unless we go back. When did they actually start? So only about a year old.
Yeah.
So maybe. I mean, listen.
See,
this is really good work.
Yeah, they said they're a Hypixel Minecrafter, and you know what's missing from these titles is like Hypixel. You know, they're not worried about that. It's because it's almost irrelevant. They're worried more about the PvP and the things that happened in the actual gameplay. They're not trying to, you know, play any games with search or anything like, okay, I'm gonna put Hypixel in here so it's gonna get a whole bunch of hits. Like that hasn't worked for a long time now. So forget what server you're on. It doesn't matter. What happened? How I ambushed this Minecraft player. You know, and the thumbnail is just like drawing you right in. Like you see the back of someone's head. They're about to ambush this person. It's dead simple. I don't know what advice we give. Keep doing this.
This is really an interesting channel.
Yeah.
I don't love the latest thumbnail. I will say like the TNT makes a really poor texture for a background.
Bit too much red.
If you were to just make that grass, like I would redo that thumbnail and just make it grass or something. So the red arrow and the red characters pop off that green background. And you don't change anything else, you probably have a much better thumbnail.
Yeah, literally just change that background.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Would it be fair to say that if this creator is able to create more content on a more consistent basis, they should certainly try to do that, given the Minecraft audience tends to want content on almost on a daily basis?
Consistency.
Yep.
I mean they are consistent with their current output.
Yeah,
but there's room for growth here, certainly, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be
days. That's a long time.
It might be that they release stuff and then unlist it when it doesn't do well, because these are all very strong videos.
Yeah,
I hope that's not what they're doing, but that could be, because older videos can take off too.
Yeah.
Wow, during a charity stream there is over $300. That's pretty incredible. I'm wondering if they've got other
Wait a minute, hold on. Go back to that.
Yeah.
That's not even the same name of the person, Infamous JJ.
Oh no, you can in your community tab, you can share other people's community tab posts.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've done it before for other people, yeah.
So like that. But and then just not type anything in. It's almost like a retweet.
Yep.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Looks like you have to type to post it.
Okay.
That's cool.
Cool. Now I'm going to try something here. This might not work. Just first of all, have you lot encountered this yet on the front page of YouTube, where now you don't see the GIFs? The video just starts playing.
I had seen that a while back, and I've actually watched a video like that once. I'm like, what am I doing? It's like a 4-minute video, and I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and hover over it.
For me, it makes it easier because if you notice what the pop-up says, right? It says keep watching or add to queue. I actually make watch queues as I'm watching on YouTube. So like I'll click a video and then I'll see other ones on the homepage and I'll click on that one. So like here, like let's say theoretically, I would add Travis's video to the queue. I would add John Prosser's video to the queue, Roberto's video to the queue. And that's kind of how I would do it. And then I would just, grab my drink, sit back, and I would just let them ride. So for me, it actually makes it more convenient as a viewer, to work with it within those boundaries. But
nice.
I do see it on mine like this.
I'm noticing vidIQ wasn't mentioned in that list, Jess. Thank you very much.
Because we're here, man.
We're here.
Yeah,
I only click on thumbnails with Dan. Like those are the only vidIQ thumbnails I click on.
I can't find the video I'm looking for. So Dan and I are in the middle of doing a collaborative video where we found a YouTube channel that's got more than 1,000 subscribers in a month. They've now got significantly more. Do you have any idea what the channel's called, Dan?
It was down there. It was like, and scroll down a little bit. A little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a very vibrant Minecraft thumbnail. I saw it. Where'd it go? Keep going. Oh, geez.
This is.
Yeah, there is.
There it is. Yeah. So, so I spotted this channel a week ago, and we were making a video about how a channel can get 1,000 subscribers in less than a month. When I found the channel, they had 4,000 subscribers last week. And now they're getting, some of their videos are getting tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views. So for any Minecraft channels or people interested in how to grow in a very saturated space, stick around for about a week's time. We're going to be looking at this channel in a bit more detail.
Do we think this is a one creator that doesn't have other channels at all?
So I'm starting to think this might be a channel that has a lot of experiences and has done this before, because they're very similar to Stevie, and Spectator was another channel. But we're going to talk about that during the video.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this lately. One of the customers that I was working with the other day, and I shared the information with Travis and Alexi as well for our coaching stuff, was, absolutely blew up. 200-something thousand subscribers in about a year. And we were like, wow, this is amazing. And then I asked him straight up, I'm like, hey, so how long have you been doing this? He's like, well, this channel is about a year old, but this is actually my 4th channel.
Yeah.
So right from the beginning, it was focused on their target audience. Thumbnails were on point, topics were on point, upload schedule was on point, production quality level was better than my own. I mean, it was just very, very good. So that's sometimes you'll see like quick success on on certain channels. You're like, wow, why does YouTube really love them? And it's because most of the time it's probably not their first channel.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. So this channel started a month ago, and you can see that they didn't have any initial advantage. They were getting like a couple of hundred views per video, but look at how many videos they've made in that time. These are all very short videos.
They have a million views. They have a 1 million view video already.
I think they do. Yeah. There's certainly 1 or 2.
I mean, that helps a lot. That's incredible.
Do stick around for that video that we're probably going to be doing very, very soon.
Nice.
On to the next channel. Then this is Trader Cobb. Now, why did this channel? What was this?
Mr. Cobb.
Mr. Cobb. I'm trying to remember why I picked this. Was it?
I think I did.
Sorry, Dan. Yeah, I knew somebody picked it, but I couldn't remember who. Okay.
So
go ahead.
I kind of recognize this channel. I wasn't sure if we had seen them before, or maybe they've just posted a lot and now they're finally getting audited. But so it's crypto education, and there's a really big difference in the content they were doing versus the content they're doing today. And that was initially like, I just looked at this channel. I'm like, yep, that's pretty much my advice is I think they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. So what they're doing right now is they're doing these live streams, and I think they're just making them deliberately the length of videos. So just really kind of short live streams, 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, and then they just leave it and they walk away from it. Maybe it's because they don't want to edit, whatever it might be. And you can certainly do that. I mean, Jeff, maybe you can speak to that a little bit in a sec. Yeah. But what's wrong with these is that most of the titles and the thumbnails don't tell anyone anything. And what they were doing before, if you were to go back and look, is they were doing a lot of actual like education about the topic. It was how-tos. It was all the stuff you would imagine. And as you would expect, they were getting a lot better views back then. But this new live streaming format they're doing is not working.
Yeah. And I get the draw to do live streams because it is easier. You definitely don't have, well, let me paraphrase that. It's easier in certain ways, it's harder in other ways. So one of the things is, you can make it so you don't have to edit. That's a beautiful part about it. But if you're going to do something like that, then you want to make sure you go into it with a game plan. And that game plan starts with the 3 T's, just like it would for any video: your topic, your title, and your thumbnail. Those have to come first. You have to have those ready. And when you go into this live stream, you have to be ready, like right off the bat, get straight into it, hit your topic. And once it's done, the only thing I would recommend they do, even for a 15-minute video, go in and timestamp it. And this way, if you're doing introductions or yapping on for the first couple of minutes, you can let people skip that part. And that way they can get right to the information that they're looking for. But really structure these, even if they're only 15 minutes and you just kind of want to do it like that, at the very least, go into it with a game plan, go into it with a structure. This way, what you're thinking about is replay value. because right now, if it only makes sense or has any sort of value only while it's live, then it's not doing anything for you in the long run. And you have to start thinking about it sort of in a long game of how can I get people to watch this later on? And that's where your title on a topic that people care about, and then your thumbnail has to get people to click. And then once they're in there, you have to be able to keep them in there.
Yeah. I would look at their most popular because there's a number of videos they did that would make that.
Yeah. I was struggling to find those educational videos, Dan. It was seen almost all live streams. So this is from a significant time ago here, you know, 4 years, 3 years ago.
Well, 1 year ago, they got Beginner's Guide to Cryptocurrency, free course, which is great. Like, great title, simple thumbnail. Ethereum good at $1,000. Like, little things like that worked really well. And I think the value of that content was a lot more front facing. But now it's like these vague live streams keep coming up. The host of the live stream just has a picture of them just kind of standing. And I don't mean to be insulting here, but they look kind of like a hostage. And they're not making like a YouTube face at all. Sorry.
That's what the kids call, dead A.
Yes.
They're just dead A staring.
Mustache.
That's right.
They just kind of do. And I think if they were to be a little more expressive, the text live market scan doesn't really say anything. Time to get short. You might be talking about shorting stocks, but it's not clear. I think you need to be thinking about the audience that originally subscribed to this channel, which were people trying to learn about crypto. They may be very inexperienced when it comes to trading anything, much less crypto. So really cater your titles and your thumbnails with that audience. If you change nothing else, that alone could get these live streams a lot more views after they're posted.
Yeah. And just taking the time to shoot, at least 10 different poses.
Yeah.
And this way you have all these different facial expressions, poses, whatever it is, because this to me, and it just for lack of a better word, I don't want to insult it, but it seems that the thumbnails are lazy to me personally, in the sense of it's always the same picture. Like, come on, dude. Like, I know we can do a little bit better than that. You don't have to take a picture every time you make a thumbnail, but this is why it makes sense. Just go take, 5 pictures at least, and that way you have these different poses and you can, or different faces, like excited and sad and I'm thinking about it, whatever. You know what I mean? And just have those different ones. And that way you can apply them as needed. And you don't end up with what amounts to, sort of thumbnail wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out if they did a live stream every trading day, like they do Monday to Friday. And it looks as if they are. I thought at one point that they weren't doing something every day, which meant that you kind of lacking that uber consistency you might need with live streaming and following all of these trades. Like, I guess here, like, you've gone from Thursday to Monday. Now, I guess in terms of a flow of consistency and getting your audience to come back, they want to be on top of that information every single day.
Yeah.
So that's a big commitment to consistency, but I assume you would perhaps need to do that. And then just like a little bit of a branding issue, this chap here in the channel banner and the avatar, maybe he's taking more of a back seat, but it seems there's other hosts that are on that seems to be on the channel a lot more than him right now.
Yeah.
And so
nothing wrong with that
there as well.
But it makes it look like this is about Trader Cobb, and here's a picture of Trader Cobb, and then there's like these other hosts, and maybe it's time for a name change, something a little more generic, all encompassing. Like if this channel was called Rob Wilson, and then I kept showing up, that'd be a bit confusing.
Yeah.
So just a few tweaks there, I think, and I'm sure they have a lot of knowledge. I'm sure they're really good at what they do, but the when it comes to making the videos, I think that's become kind of second to that, and it does need to change.
Yeah.
Trader Cobb there. Let's move on to Discord, Dan, and talk about that for a few minutes and encourage everybody to join our Discord community because,
well, it's free for one.
Mm-hmm.
The link is down below, vidIQ.com/Discord. Whole bunch of people in there that are just like yourselves. They have YouTube channels, and they're just looking to, talk to other creators and share their experiences on YouTube. No one's sharing their content in there. That's not what it's for, but they are sharing advice with one another. We're looking at the thumbnail channel right now. People post their thumbnails, ask for some feedback, make some tweaks. There's a lot of really valuable discussion going on in there, and a lot of people willing to help. And then we take the most helpful of the folks we see that week. We randomly pick them for a channel audit, and this week it was FA Gamez with a Z. 108,000 subscribers.
Yeah, 100,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Congratulations. Hitting such a target in a very competitive, saturated space is a job well done to you. So I'm not sure how much advice we're going to be giving here, but let's try and figure out how they got there to help other creators.
But also, one of the things I also want to say just before you get started is I'm really happy that somebody who has a channel at this size is willing to spend time helping the community as well. I just want to say thank you for them to being a part of our community and helping other creators to come up with, especially somebody who's got more experience than some maybe who are just starting out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really interesting. So it looks like that latest one might be a live stream. It's 3.5 hours long. And I want to say, just by looking at the channel, we're seeing a channel that focuses specifically on having the best resolution, maybe the best frame rate. They really focus on the performance of these different games they're playing. So a lot of people might look at a channel like this and go, hey, see, they got 100,000 subscribers playing all the games they want.
Yep.
But think about the context there. They're playing all the games they want, but always with the context of, can I play this in 4K, HDR, 60 frames, 120 frames, and so forth?
These files must be insanely huge. 7.5 hours, 4K 60 with HDR, as it's got to be a hard drive crashing amount of data.
I'm wondering if they're streaming on another platform and then taking the recordings and uploading them to.
I can't even imagine putting that into my timeline to do anything with it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, 100% walkthroughs. Okay, cool.
Maxing out LumaFusion there.
Oh I don't even have the hard drive space on my iPad to put it on there. It's
yeah, I couldn't handle files that big.
I think another huge point that we need to say here, Dan, in terms of this channel seems to be doing everything I want to do. When I try, I fail miserably.
Yep.
Well, this channel has had the benefit of 8 years of doing this and probably being really consistent with it when there was perhaps less competition in the gaming walkthrough space. But over time, they've been able to establish an audience. And they never stopped. They've just been relentless. They've kept going with it. And even back 8 years ago, they were telling us they were playing a game in the highest quality they could.
Yeah. So even back then, they kind of had that notion of like, I'm gonna just make these videos connected in this way. I mean, we asked on the community tab recently like what people's questions were about YouTube that they like answered, and a lot of people kind of asked about this, like, can I please, basically, they're almost asking permission, can I please like try a bunch of different things on my channel? And the advice is always like, what's the through line? What's the thing that's going to make all of that stick together? And the channel I always go back to is Let's Game It Out, because every single video is about a different game, some you've never heard of before. And the point of it is this person is so good at, one, being hilarious, but two, breaking the game. And that's the through line. I'm going to take whatever game I find, I'm going to break it to bits. You know, in this channel, it's like, I'm going to make it look as good as I possibly can. But now with what I'd love to know is, how are you getting 6.5 hour videos, 300,000 views?
Yeah,
that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and something interesting here as well is that there's some very spiky views, like this one about Final Fantasy 7, 8,000 views. And maybe it's because it's on the PC. People want to see the latest PS5 quality games.
Or the thumbnail.
Spider-Man. All the thumbnails.
It's a dark thumbnail, man. I mean, you don't see the character. I mean, the same thing with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man, the suit from behind is still pretty telling. But it could just be that the character, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just too dark of a thumbnail. I would be experimenting with those, seeing it, because if your views are normally somewhere in the 50 to 150K or higher, and this one's pulling 10 to 30, then I'd be looking at that click-through rate and seeing, hey man, maybe we need to make some changes there.
There's not much engagement in these videos as well, like under 2,000 likes, less than 100 comments on a 300,000 view video. I think that's because
or something, or shared somewhere like on Reddit or something.
Could be. I think also it's as far as I'm aware, there's no narration. It is literally just faceless commentary, faceless, no commentary gameplay.
Well, they could be doing they could be giving a lot of value to people thinking about getting these games, or they just want to, like, is it worth it to get a PS5? Is it worth it to invest all this in a nice TV? And so they see somebody else kind of doing it. Now, you can have 300,000 views, but there's no telling, public-facing data-wise anyway, there's no telling how long those people stuck around. So the initial, spike at the beginning might be huge, but by the time you get a couple hours in, no one stuck around because they got what they needed. And that might be enough. That might still be working just fine.
Does he timestamp these? Because that'd be
really telling.
Arduous.
Let me check. I don't think so. I don't think.
God.
there's too much going into the setup of these. So no timestamps there. Those look as if they've been text picked from somewhere. And just the most popular ones. Wow.
I will say the ones with millions of views are a much more digestible length.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Most of them anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be a lesson. You could still do your really long uploads, but can you take apart? Can you edit it down and then upload it again, you know? Like just a shorter version for people and get better retention, get the video shared more, get another million view video.
It's an interesting channel. To me, it looks like a channel that is kind of living. I don't want to credit this the wrong way, but they're kind of living off of the success and the establishment of where they are in YouTube. But if they put maybe a bit more thought into things like the channel banner, for example, I don't see them doing tutorials and help guide videos anymore, and I don't see them playing on mobile games. And yeah, these very spiky views, there is still definitely opportunities here for a more consistent audience. Whether they want to take our advice on that, it's up to them. They've already, maybe they're happy with, you know, how many views have they got now? They've got 72 million views. Yeah, so I you know, I'm probably reckoning the channel maybe does hundreds of thousands of views per month at this point. Maybe with a bit more discipline, they could get it into the millions of views per month.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's move on to the next channel, and it is Sketches and Scrubs. Is this somebody drawing uniforms that you might see in a hospital? No, I was wrong. Jeff, I think this was one that you picked, correct?
Yeah. So I picked it because it looked fairly interesting. I think there was a couple of some things that they were doing well, but also some things that they could probably work on. So basically what we got, I think their most popular videos from what I've seen on this channel seem to be their art supply hauls. So, you know, basically going to the store, picking up a bunch of stuff, you know, but one of the things that, even though it worked well for them, one of the things that I'm not a fan of that I noticed them doing are triple and quadruple titles. And that's something that I'm just not a big fan of because I think it's just kind of unnecessary at this point. You know, it's like we're trying to put a bunch of stuff into a title when it's just not necessary. You know, Jackson Art Supply Haul, cool. But do we need to have Black Friday Haul and watercolor also in there? You know, if anything, it could have been Jackson Arts Black Friday Haul, something like that. And then anything else that you want to add in there, just for anybody who's thinking about doing this or who is currently doing these triple titles. It doesn't have to be in the title. You can put that stuff in the description. You can say those words in the video contextually, and it's going to make sense. And this way, your titles are cleaner, they're shorter, they're more concise, they make sense to humans. And that's above all anything else. There's no confusion in it. I don't have to sit here and read this whole long sentence to try to figure out what your video is about. You can just hit me with one thing. Huge art supply haul. You know, perfect. That's all I need to know. I don't need more than that.
Interesting conversation. That I'm just wondering, Dan, Travis, do you agree with that? Like less, I guess, optimization, stuffing of a title and have it more succinct, or do you think having a title include as much as possible? Which direction would you tend to go in?
I generally agree with shorter titles is better,
right.
But they're having some pretty decent success, so I think they should kind of tread carefully, test it out.
Yeah, anything that we do like this is always based on some sort of experimentation. Because if I was going to make some sort of a change, let's say that this is how I've been doing it, right? For the longest time. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to change direction. I want to try a new thumbnail style, or I want to try a new editing style or a new titling strategy. Then I'm going to do that as an experiment with like 3 to 5 videos. And that way you have at least a data set and you can say, okay, with the previous 5 videos, I did this much. These 5 videos with this new thumbnail style did this much, and you can kind of start weighing out what's working better for your channel. But definitely something to I guess sort of mess around with a little bit. The other thing would be with the thumbnails themselves. I like where some of them say like 400 art haul and stuff like that, but then there's this tiny text under it, a whole lot of tiny text that I think is just unnecessary.
Yeah. Just to go back to your point about the titles, Jeff, I was thinking of this one as an example where they say $2,000 worth of supplies. You could almost easily plop that in the thumbnail and then remove it from the title.
Yep.
Because I guess that's not really adding anything SEO wise.
Right.
It's just you want to get that information in the pitch, and where is it best to do that?
Yeah, exactly. You
And
want
then,
them to play off of each other.
You got your small text there, which is just I can't read what that is. Let's see, because obviously everybody is going to do this. They're going to go. We're going to see the thumbnail on the mobile. Then they're going to go to a desktop, and then they're going to do zoom in. All right. And it's biggest cast out store in the okay. No one's going to do that. So
yeah, it's just stuff that isn't necessary. And this is one of the things that if Sketches and Scrubs happens to see this, the biggest takeaway from it is that less is more, especially when it comes to your thumbnails, because like having like my goals and free planner, cool. Whatever it says under the timestamp, it's not necessary. You just don't need it. When you have like 2021 most used art supplies, that 2021 is tiny. You can make that a little bit bigger. But just anytime we're going to use this like additional text and stuff like that, that's really small, you can't read it anyway. So it's just, there's no point in having it there. So less is more approach on these thumbnails is I think it's gonna work well for you.
You can absolutely target search too with shorter titles. I mean, if you look at Think Media's channel, they're fantastic at targeting search, and they don't have these super long titles that are, go 3 or 4 different titles jammed into one.
Yeah, 100%. You'll see a lot of channels doing that, but that's probably one of the best examples of them doing it, because they do a lot of like products, right? They do a lot of product stuff, which is SEO. You want to have the product names and those titles and stuff, but you don't see crazy long titles on their channel. So definitely something to look at least as far as examples go. And they're actually using their community tab, this channel, which I'm actually excited about. So many channels that I visit aren't using it at all.
Yeah. Shall we play a little game of guess the channel size, since I've hidden their subscriber count?
I can tell you what it is, but I don't know if they want to keep it private.
So
that's the only reason I didn't say it. Yeah. They actually did put it in the questionnaire
on the form. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So they did. So put it like this: they're on their way to 1,000 subs. Well on their way.
So they're under 1,000 subs.
Yes, but they're well on their way.
Incredible view counts then, like a really strong community already.
Yeah,
hundreds of views on each one.
So. Oh yeah, they're doing well. So just to not take things out of context, this channel has a lot of potential, and they are moving in the right direction. And the host is very engaging. So they have a lot of things working in their favor. I think just some small tweaks can really help.
Oh, Ben Johnson would be all over the setup there with a little framing and stuff in the background. But unfortunately, he's not here today. He's our camera lighting framing expert. All right, it is the top of the hour. Perfect timing. So let's take a quick 1-minute break. Make sure you hydrate, and we'll be back for the second hour of channel auditing.
Introducing daily ideas from vidIQ. AI designed for those that have to create. Inspired by the creators that start working when others stop. Because their inspiration doesn't care for 9 to 5. Creators that push their ideas 1 step, even 3 steps beyond the obvious, and won't ever settle for anything less. Discover AI-generated ideas made for your channel only, the creator whose brain works like nobody else's. Newly refreshed every single day, because we know how much it hurts to get caught sleeping on a trend. And there's nothing sweeter than waking up to a view count you didn't dare dream of. So we made View Prediction. See all your opportunities ranked by their potential to get you more views. When your creativity and our algorithm work together, surprising things happen. And this is just the start. The power of artificial intelligence is in your hands, and we can't wait to see what you create. Daily ideas from vidIQ. AI-powered inspiration, inspired by you.
During the break, I was trying to get my magnifying glass extension working. It just doesn't work. It's really frustrating. Not being able to get out to work for a couple of weeks.
The front page text thumbnail gets me every time, man. John Prosser's thumbnail strategy for the last 5 years just kills me.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? I was going to do...
Is it time?
This. was supposed to do that. There we go. Yeah.
I did that, and you
and I
undid
turned it
so
off.
I didn't want to mess with it.
It's Jeff's favorite part of a live stream.
That's
right.
So you guys know what time it is.
We know what time it is. So what we're going to do is we take the submissions in a form like this: 300 in the gaming non-gaming section, 320 in the gaming section. We make sure that the tool is going to pick up all of those channels, and then we start
the claw.
Diving into the numbers. We take the number 308. We'll start with a gaming channel, and we are seeing these channels on first impressions. We've never come across them before. We don't know what we're going to get into, but we're going to try and help you as much as possible. And the first one is Indian Marttos, just over 3,000 subscribers, which is always good to see in the gaming space. And it's a combination of shorts and long form Fortnite content.
Looks like some shorts really took off too.
Arena highlights, yeah. I wonder if some of these short clips are taken from the longer arena highlights. It would be a sensible thing to do.
Yeah. Well, although some of these have very, very decent, healthy view counts, the shorts, I still maintain that you should crop them properly.
I know what you're going to say here.
Yeah. So when I say crop them properly, I mean, take that frame. You're going to lose the edges. That's okay. Take it and stretch it up so that we don't see those big bars, because the people watching on their phones are seeing that too. It's small for us on a desktop screen. Think about the people watching on mobile. Make that experience for your shorts viewers as good as it possibly can be, because they got 128,000 views. Could it have gotten more from the people who skip past it because they're like, nope? There's so many Fortnite shorts out there that are cropped the right way. Go see how they're doing it and get a tool or something. There's a lot now. These days, it's really easy to do without investing in really expensive editing software.
I can do it on my phone at this point in the native video editor. So it's they're really not difficult to do at this point.
And this is something that's going to impact a audience retention from the very second somebody swipes. You know, sometimes it's really bad audio that's going to make you switch off straight away. Some viewers are just going to see those black borders immediately, and they're not going to give your content a chance, and they're just going to move on.
Yep. But I do like their thumbnails on their full-length videos, and they put some of these on their shorts as well, from what I'm seeing here. But the strategy is good, and they're getting some healthy views.
It's an interesting template, isn't it? That they're using one of the Fortnite menu screens, and then because in all other cases, these thumbnails are very similar to other Fortnite thumbnails in that they just have one of the main characters on screen. But I guess their slightly unique branding of their content is adding these titles, or at least that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, they're still doing that now, which is good to see.
Yep.
So I guess down what we're generally saying is that creators doing everything right, just improve the quality of their short form contents with the cropping, and that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, I am curious because we rarely see these highlight channels do really well.
I see what their niche is now.
Okay.
For the long form content, it's the best settings, shortcuts, mouse controls for Fortnite.
Nice.
Got it.
That is their niche.
Got it.
Super helpful.
So because I was looking at these titles, we lose a lot of that. Was that me? Sorry, I'm leaving my keyboard. We lose a lot of that in the titles because the meat of the title is kind of hidden behind arena highlights, the best keyboard and mouse settings. And then what makes that video different than the last one? Obviously something. People are watching all of them. So PC Fortnite Chapter 3. Maybe they're just using the same exact title almost in every video.
Yeah, it could be.
I've seen people do that.
It could be one of them where they've stumbled upon a title that really works, and they're just using that all of the time.
I've definitely seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it in gaming a lot with different games, whether it's Genshin or different stuff like that, where they're teaching people how to how to farm gems or stuff like that, where they'll literally reuse the same title, get a massive views, but they're literally using the same title with they might move a word here or there, but it's just essentially the same title even over and over and over, but it works. You know, it's like it's something that really works for them. So don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Let's talk about these community
channel is
posts.
growing fast.
Yeah, I like to see that. So this community post down below the 3,000 subscriber one is the kind I would generally recommend.
Yeah.
You've made a poll about people who played the game. The one above it, it's okay once in a while, right? Like, oh, we hit 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But some of the latest posts are like, should I make a Discord? Would you like to see this? That's the kind of stuff I would avoid doing on the community tab, especially often.
Yes.
It's less about you, more about them, just like your videos. And these posts will go really far.
Yeah, especially targeted at your audience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So the claw.
I was going to give each person in turn a go at this. All right, so that was your one, but it's going to be Dan or Travis next time. 296. This is going to be a non-gaming channel called InfernoX, which sounds like a gaming channel to me.
InfernoX.
I like it.
But they are not.
Or are they?
They smashed a Nintendo Switch.
They took gaming and did Smash, which is also a gaming thing. 4 days ago, 3 months ago. So they've done one video in the last 3 months.
Good spot, Travis. Good spot.
So there's your first. There's your problem. I mean, look at these other videos, especially the older ones. Again, get really good views. I sunk in a cardboard boat. That's kind of fun.
Like stuck in quicksand wearing a suit. I am highly intrigued by this.
Yeah, there's some really interesting ideas here. But why? Why did they stop for a year and then just came back and then went?
These are all fun ideas, and this is an example of somebody who doesn't necessarily have a thumbnail editor, but they know how to take a good shot of the action and tease a story with no text in most of the thumbnails.
There's a lot of really cool ideas here too.
These remind me of Liam Thompson. Anyone else know who that is?
Nope.
Okay. The idea is just that what they're doing. You might look at this channel and see how their thumbnails are. Sorry, Travis. I mean,
no, that's all right.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance.
Yeah, he's even done like cardboard house, cardboard boat, things like that.
Just the thumbnails are at like the next two or three runs up. Oh, there's a savage baby. That'd be interesting for a certain person to go check out.
Really good views on some of these, though.
Yeah, I would almost, the funny thing is you see some of these and you're like, these are really cool ideas. Now, I wonder what the actual retention graphs look like.
Here's your niche.
Quicksand.
Yeah, quicksand.
Like, do they have some of this in his back garden or something? Like,
yeah, how do you get so many
fake
quicksand? Get as many people as possible and as many objects as possible and stick them in quicksand. There's your channel.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
No, I mean, you can get at least 30, 40 pieces of content out of that. So.
Get your teacher, or get your boss, get your brother, get your friend who put a prank on you, a car, a scooter. The list, Mr. Beast, the list is endless.
Yeah, see, 2021 Honda Accord review. So 2021 Honda Accord stuck in quicksand.
There we go. You said it's worse than 2020, so it's a rubbish car. Get it in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Growing up in the 80s and watching cartoons from the 80s led me to believe that quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my life.
It's true.
Than it actually is. So
this is true. It's not a bad point.
It's not an issue in my life at all.
Never seen quicksand in my life, but yeah. Every cartoon character is getting stuck in at least once a week.
A lot of cartoons live in really rough areas when it comes to quicksand.
That's a poll we need. It's how many of you have actually been stuck in quicksand?
That's the second highlight of this, following Dan's hostage thumbnails quote. Yeah, I'll set it up. So far, 59% of you haven't joined a Discord channel. Please fix that. And now I'll do the next poll. After Travis, it's your turn. So please introduce us to
number 153.
Okay, I was hoping for something a little different there, but fair enough. You introduce the claw however you see fit.
What, the claw 153? What are you talking about?
All right.
I think you did a good job, Travis.
I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Sorry. Brave Dev.
Yes.
It's a channel,
Talk
apparently.
about Brave Dev.
No, actually, okay. What do you got? I made Pac-Man 3D and it's multiplayer. That's cool. I made Flappy Bird, but with a plane. All right. So is this person an actual dev making cool stuff? Made Squid Game and Unity. That's kind of dope. Squid Game 2.0 made a Unity update. Among Us in 3D. Huh. This is kind of cool. So a dev making either older games in a different way, or in the case of Squid Game, a movie, something kind of catchy. Now, was 2 months ago, was it still too late for Squid Game 2 months ago? I'm trying to remember.
You're looking at the middle of November. I think it came out beginning like late September, middle of October. So just a little bit, but
it's hard to probably make something like this. Not,
yeah,
you know,
you got to develop the game, haven't you?
I would wait for season 2 and then start dropping that Squid Games content again.
Nice.
Because if you're looking at Google Trends and when the traffic pattern will come back, as it leads up, like let's say Netflix says, hey, in 30 days it's going to be releasing. That lead up, that's when it's going to be high time to start dropping those videos.
The genius of good old El Jefe. I'm telling you, you can get some of this genius like information from Goop Coaching. There's a link that's already gone through in the chat. It's
that's right.
That's brilliant. And I love that I made a game to reach 1 million subscribers and it has not quite 700 views.
There's one thing, a few things. There's one thing I'm noticing they're doing that I think is working against them. Flappy Bird has not been popular for many years now. So a lot of people probably don't know what Flappy Bird even is.
Oh, snap.
Sorry. Contra 3D, that might be me. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Squid Game, a lot of people know what it is, but a lot of people also did their Squid Game content like we've been talking about. Can you get into making something a little more on trend? I know it's game development, so it's slow, but can you find something that's just more, I guess, a little more evergreen, like Minecraft? Can you make a really bad Minecraft clone? One of the people I'm thinking of when I look at a channel like this is Danny, D-A-N-I. They're a very big channel, but they use their game development skills to make utter nonsense.
What was that, Dan?
D-A-N-I, Danny.
And I should be able to find it, right?
Yeah.
This dude?
Yes. So take a look at some of their thumbnails, but take a look at the presentation of these videos. Like, they're making, even with their Squid Game videos, they're doing really well. They're just making these more interesting, I guess. And when you actually watch the videos, it's just complete chaos and nonsense. So I would say they're using their game development powers for evil. That's the best way I'd describe it. Can you do the same thing? Can you say, like, I made a terrible Minecraft clone or something? People have probably done that before, but something a little more evergreen, you know.
I think evergreen and click-worthy at that.
Yeah. I thought this was an interesting idea because the dinosaur jumping game on Chrome is something that's a little more evergreen. You could almost probably remake that today and it'd still be as relevant now as it was then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you're thinking about maybe Minecraft. What other video games might be? I guess no. That's of a particular generation, isn't it? Playing snakes on your mobile phone, because like before there were smartphones, there were surprisingly mobile phones that had one game and it was snakes. But I'm just going off into my own weird little world right now.
Yeah, I wonder if could they make a game that is not based on another game and then try that too. Like, I wish I could think of a good example. Like, I made a game where everyone dies the second they log in, or I'm just trying to think of ridiculous things you could do that people don't need any background knowledge of Squid Game or anything like that.
That's a great idea. Something that just universally speaks to whoever's watching it.
Yeah.
So Squid Game Season 2 might be a game to develop. Is there anything this year that we know is coming out that could be prime for this channel? I think, isn't Avatar supposed to be finally coming out this Christmas?
Is it?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was.
Marvel and Star Wars, like
there's
always something going on with Marvel, Star Wars, and Disney Plus, like maybe a Moon Knight game or, something like that.
Or another way to do this would maybe like you take the Chrome Dinosaur game and then add Squid Game characters to it, and then they die in really gory ways. Or Marvel heroes or something.
Yeah.
And you're taking one very popular game with very popular IP and characters from the movie universe.
If Marvel characters were in Squid Game, you know,
interesting. Yeah,
something like that. I made Pac-Man 3D and it's multiplayer. Cool concept, did pretty well, but like, could that have been taken over the top even more? You know.
Yeah. And just with the volume of content, they are relying on the video to go somewhat viral, to get a big audience and traction, like I guess the Danny channel has done in the past. Dan, it's your turn. Please introduce us to
Clawbert.
Okay. Clawbert. Was that a gaming channel that we just looked at? It was, wasn't it? Right. So 148 is your number. I'm going to type that in there. The channel, and they are a vintage Honda ATV channel. This is maybe falling a little bit into Jeff's wheelhouse, perhaps.
I see what you did there, because wheels and ATVs.
Well played, sir.
MrC Builds.
Interesting. You guys ever ride one of those three-wheeled ATVs? It is sketchy. Yeah, buddy. I used to do that back in the day, man. So yeah, those are a trip, man.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is the de facto go-to YouTube expert leader in Honda ATC 250 ATVs, since they are super focused on that vehicle.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're going through the different parts, the different fixes for it, and it's very
focused. Very focused. Yeah.
It's very niche for sure, because how many people out there are really still have these? Right?
Yeah.
So it does inherently limit your like overall audience size, but you are targeting an exact viewer, and you are getting the exact viewer for what you want. So you are helping a lot of people in that sense. But I like it though. I like seeing that kind of focus on a channel, because that really helps. Like if I had one, this channel would be my dude. Like I'd be, making sure I'm watching those videos and learning about all the maintenance and everything for it.
So there's some videos with lots of views. Presumably these other channels are not just focused on this particular vehicle. They're probably a lot more broader. But I'm wondering if this channel can maybe research some of these and do almost like response videos. Or I think there was a good example here of somebody comparing the model in question versus maybe a newer, updated ATV, just to try and branch out from this, as I say, very niched topic, because it's, as you say, you're talking about particular parts and repairing particular sections of a vehicle. There is going to be a limited audience, which they are clearly grabbing with all of their videos. But I mean, is the ceiling here maybe 5,000, 10,000 people?
Yeah, not sure on that one, but it could be limited in a sense. But the other way they could do it is, one, they could try, if they were about that kind of life and doing reactions to other people's content around this product, or two would be finding a similar product, if it's a quad, if it's just another Honda, so they stay in the Honda family, that's similar to this. So that would be another option for another route or another, traffic or lane of traffic for their content. Either that, or finding the most polar opposite, the arch nemesis of the ATC 250R, whatever it is, if it's a Yamaha, if it's whatever that arch nemesis is. Like for Sony, it's Bose. For Pepsi, it's Coke, right? So whatever that other thing is, that's another option as well.
Surely that's going to be an EV scooter, right?
It can be. Right?
I feel as if
what do Honda ATC owners hate most?
Yeah.
What's the one that they dislike the most? And then that's the one.
Any thoughts on thumbnails here? A little text heavy sometimes.
Well, but then there's sometimes like that. This unicorn will run like it's so close. I just see like the Honda 250. Is that the point of it, or are we supposed to see the entire vehicle? Like it's
right.
Sometimes I think the thumbnails miss it, and then sometimes they look like they're from the 80s. Like what happened to MrC like because there's no contrast in the picture, it looks like an old Polaroid picture. So if your camera or whatever it is you're using, your phone or whatever, doesn't take like awesome pictures, typically you can fix it with like Canva or something, just by bumping up the contrast or something like that. It's just not that difficult.
I don't know. I'm only doing like a sample size of one here, but why is this video performing better than the previous couple in the space of a day? Is it because of the intrigue of the thumbnail? Will it run something a little different? I mean, this looks like one of your lateral topics. Maybe it's a buggy instead of an Air TV, which is interesting. So I think there is opportunities to branch out from the current audience a little bit.
Yeah,
100%. That is MrC Builds. And it is my turn to introduce you to the clock.
241. You can remove the number after. Look at this. How good this is. They've really obviously have improved this website since we've been using it. We're their number one customer.
We're the only people.
Exactly. Number one customer.
Do we pay for it?
I decided to pay for subs today. Ordered from Subway for lunch.
Oh, I thought you were saying you bought subs for your channel.
I did. I bought it. I bought subs. From Subway.
Boom, boom. Nice joke. All right. Pop Rocker. Team Fortress 2 channel, Dan. Old game.
Fortress 2.
Some people still play it, right?
Yeah, it has, at least like as of maybe 5 years ago, still people were playing it. I played it for like a really quick minute, and then I just never picked it up again. But there's a lot of people that, are diehard fans of this game. But that must mean it's even harder to break into, just because like that community has been established for so long. Like, oh man, how do you break into that? So it looks like what they're doing, Twitch stream video to promote my very awesome something. Some edgy content here, it looks like in some cases. Titles I'm just kind of skipping over. Well, they're doing all Left 4 Dead modded. Okay, I'm seeing Gary's mod as well. And not a lot of uploads either.
True, yeah.
It's kind of funny. The games they're choosing to play are very old. And I can see people still playing TF2. I can see people maybe even picking up Gary's mod today. However, like Left 4 Dead, there can't be like a big community there. So I'm kind of wondering, like, have they done the research when they're doing these videos? Like, is there a big enough audience here in 2022 for the content you're making? And not only that, if there is, are you making content that appeals to them? Because we're not probably getting as many views as we would like. But even if you've done all that research, then it's a matter of upload frequency, because it looks like you're doing maybe a video a month, sometimes more, sometimes less. Maybe just a few days ago, it looks like you've picked up and done more.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of like, I think this creator has a lot of stuff they need to figure out so they can kind of hone this in.
Thumbnails tend to be a little dark on some of these as well, or there's just a bit too much screenshots and not enough transcribing of what's going on. I mean, some are more clear than others, but Left 4 Dead 2, but it's modded. I don't know what I'm getting at all really from that thumbnail as an example.
Yeah, that's but modded with what? Like, what's the mod?
Yeah, and mods doesn't bridge that gap either.
Yeah. I mean, you could say Left 4 Dead 2, but it's modded, but then the thumbnail has to explain the mod in some way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of disconnects here. If you're streaming on Twitch, have you set up a replay buffer of some sort so you can grab clips while you're streaming, and then you can make those clips your YouTube videos? Like, that's another way you can kind of get this channel off the ground too.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next channel. But just before I do that, I am informing you that we are going subscriber chat mode only. I'm turning it on right now. So in order to chat in a live stream, you will need to be subscribed to the channel. There is a very specific reason for that, which I'm going to reveal in a few minutes. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to chat, make sure to subscribe. And then with 60 seconds later, you will be able to post a message. We've lost Jeff temporarily, I think, for internet reasons, because I do want to let him know of the poll that we're running. But I'll let that run for a little while longer. And the channel we're going to look at now is 279. Okay.
Man, quicksam's a problem in a lot of people's lives. It may not be the majority. It's still a lot. It's a large percentage.
Ori Alfasi. Okay. Subscribe if you can read this. Okay. I can read it, but I'm choosing not to subscribe.
I'm facing my fears for 24 hours. Okay, so I like the idea behind the video, and I even almost like the thumbnail. If we could get a more idea of what that is, I would probably not even bother putting it's 2022. I would use more of that for something else equally intriguing. And if it was like leaving my comfort zone and like you're getting on a plane, or I don't know, something that other people are afraid of, it might be something more to it. Right now, it just looks like you're going to stalk somebody, which I don't know how that helps anybody. But anyway, wait, I'm sorry. Is it 12:45 yet? I feel like that's already coming. Okay, anyway. Okay. But baking a cake without a recipe for $10,000, that sounds interesting. I don't know what that means, but I'm really curious all of a sudden. Like, what do you mean for 10? What does that mean? And so there's something kind of interesting there. Now, the question is, he's doing something like Mr. Beast does, but there's no context behind it. So I've talked about this in thumbnail discussions before. When the 9 times out of 10, the only text you need in a thumbnail is for context. But hour 3 makes no sense. Does it take you 3 hours to bake a recipe? I'm sorry, bake a cake? Like, it doesn't make sense. It'd be one thing if you're like baking a cake for 3 days. This is hour 3 of 3 days or something like it. I don't understand. So that thing that they're trying to do there, I understand what they were going for, but I don't think it actually pays off. But I do love the idea behind it. Baking a cake without a recipe for $10,000 sounds interesting.
There's no jeopardy, is there, in that?
Right.
In the hour, like, okay, so yeah, hour 3 into baking something. Why does that matter to me if I'm going to click on this?
Yes.
Because the $10,000, okay, without a recipe, there's something missing there which I need to understand.
Or I lose my hair, or
yeah,
something like that.
I'm also seeing this channel seems to be like doing a bit of everything. Like, I think Dan, you described this before as I feel like this type of channel today content, but then they have weirdly a book centric shorts channel here as well. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
Like all of the shorts are about books.
I used this as an example in I think my last video. You wouldn't take a booktube channel and then also do hiking videos on it. And they're doing like these booktube style.
You took your advice and did that.
Right. I said you wouldn't do that, but here they are.
And then got in a DeLorean, went 3 weeks back into the past and did all of these book videos.
And these are they're uploading a lot, so they're trying to shove as much content on this channel as they can. I think you need to take these book shorts you're doing, which are doing pretty well in views, and put them on their own channel. And if that intimidates you, I want you to think of it this way: if you get 100,000 subscribers on that channel and you get 100,000 subscribers on this channel, you get 2 play buttons. So that's pretty fun. But yes, put your separate things on your separate channels. Those are 2 way different things.
Do we need to unlist all of this?
100%. Yes.
If that's not him, yes. Is that him? I'm guessing it isn't him.
I don't think it is.
And yes, not get rid of it. For many reasons.
Yeah, all the reasons.
Tons of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying that because these are your most popular videos. All right, they were published months ago, but chances are people are still discovering this content.
Yep.
And then the next video they see on your channel is a book review or baking something without a recipe for $10,000. Complete disconnect.
Yeah. I think this channel's homework. If you guys are coming to us and saying what exactly do I do?
So
wait a minute.
Is them.
They dance professionally.
So that's the thing. If that actually is him, then that's cool. Is it him?
But it needs to be on a different channel.
Or the other stuff needs to be on a different channel if this stuff's still bringing views.
I think the idea behind this would be actually, you know what? Maybe it doesn't have to be on a different channel. So here, think of it this way. I don't know if that's him. Let's assume that that's him. Okay. And let's say you watched your favorite television show and it's like America's Most Talented or whatever the heck, right? So you're watching that and there's a particular person on there that grabs your interest. You think they're kind of cool. So you go on YouTube looking for their videos and you find their dancing videos. Oh yeah, this is him. And then he does other stuff. Now you're kind of interested in the other stuff. But the gateway video was the stuff you're already familiar with. So you could argue that if that is him and that's most of his stuff, then it makes sense. Now, if he's not in like obviously a TV show or something, if it's not him, then he needs to remove them because it doesn't even say his name in the titles.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just he's filmed other people. He's gone to a competition and filmed other people.
In which case, remove it, like we were saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do just want to quickly reveal the results of our crucial voting poll here. So I asked you 20 minutes ago, is quicksand a problem in your life? And over 400 people we canvassed for this survey, over a third of you see quicksand as a problem in your life, which is both revealing and quite disturbing. But at the same time, it's not revealing for very long because you're going to sink under that quicksand and disappear. Right. Now, with all of that being said, this is why you need to be aware of quicksand because we are going to now audit some channels using the hashtag quicksand.
Hey,
so
now.
If you put in hashtag quicksand in the chat,
one time,
hashtag audit, one time, because it only picks it at once, then you may be selected for an audit very, very soon. We'll audit one more channel. You see, we're getting entries in now so people understand what they're doing. You just got to put hashtag quicksand in the chat once, and you'll be entered for a potential audit. We'll just do one more gaming channel so we can get some numbers picked up there, which was at 264. Was that? Yes, it was 264. Dark Boy Carson is the channel we're looking at next. And they look as if they are a personality.
Did they quit 5 months ago?
Entertainment channel. Oh! See, you're looking at the important things here.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the thumbnails and the titles.
It's weird. Why would they submit their channel to something like this when they haven't uploaded in 5 months? It's really because they know you got to know that's the first thing we're going to say.
Yeah, you are 100% correct.
And it could be that they could just hit a wall. You know, they were at it for a while, uploading a lot of content, getting a lot of videos getting less than 100 views, putting in some good effort on their thumbnails.
Yeah, they're good thumbnails, aren't they?
Yeah. Here and there. There's improvements that can be made.
Yeah.
But I think they're all of a good quality. It's a good start. Where the first problem we see, other than the 5 months, is the different games. Dragon Ball Z fans, like, is there a lot of crossover with Call of Duty, for example? Because you keep switching games. So people are starting to find you with Call of Duty. And just as they are, it's like Dragon Ball Z. Okay, but you just lost all those Call of Duty folks. You kind of start over every time you do that. So there is that. And then the titles are very simplistic too. Playing Dragon Ball Z, something Android Saga. Like,
good point. Yeah.
Well, what's the thing in the video? Like, what happens in it? Because you look excited. It looks like something's going on, but you haven't really presented any other reason to click. And the titles always look kind of the same over and over again, like with one subtle change in them.
This one's not too bad. Like, they are referencing maybe an event that happened in the game, but the problem is the thumbnail is him reacting to a game title, like literally the branding logo of the game. That's the sense I get. Like, maybe this could be an image of a daughter with an axe in her head, or something a little more descriptive and illustrative of that moment in the game.
Yeah. And so they put the logo there instead, which if you are a fan of that game, you've seen that logo, you've probably seen what the game looks like, and you're going to get more out of it if you see something from the game rather than the logo. The logo's it's not really anything, it doesn't really need to be there. So you have you reacting, and then like Rob said, it would be like, an axe sticking out of a person or something like really like, what the heck's going on in there? I gotta know more.
And then previously on their channel, it looks as if there were more maybe entertainment, prank channel a little bit. And they've certainly pivoted.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's been a couple of years of frustration, as you say, Dan, maybe just banging their head against a wall and not really finding their through line and what they're passionate about. And
Right. What
creating on YouTube.
If Dragon Ball Z is the way you want to go, do some research and figure out a plan. Like, are there a bunch of different Dragon Ball Z games that you can play, or is there one that's just really popular and has a lot of staying power and you can think of a whole bunch of ideas for, or is it time to find a whole new game altogether and relaunch the channel on that? But stay with one for a while, and also go into these communities and figure out, like, what are the problems people are having, or what are the things that people are doing in the game that they find fun or exciting, make videos on those. Because right now it just looks like you play Dragon Ball Z, and that's not really enough to kind of stand out. Daily gaming content. Not quite. All right. So Jeff, welcome back. In your absence, we decided to go with #Quicksand for our entries. Which channel is going to be drawn out now? We have 200 plus entries, which is phenomenal. Let's see who we're going to pick.
Yeah, the Quicksand got my router, so that's what ended up happening there.
Life with Marin is going to be our
Life with Marin. All right.
So now we've got to try and find the channel. I don't think this should be too difficult. There we go. First result. Brilliant. We've cracked 100 subscribers recently. Intentional living, mindfulness, and well-being.
Does look familiar, huh?
Looks familiar.
Do you? This is not familiar to me. Is this an inside
Are they in
joke?
group coaching, Jeff? Is that where we know them from?
It's possible.
Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. Quicksand.
How to live a more intentional life. I think, how many videos are like that? Like, are they all kind of vague like that?
Not too many so far on the channel.
Start a wellness practice. That feels a little vague too. Because these wellness type of videos that can go a lot of different ways. I think you can kind of focus this content more. Like slow, mindful living. Maybe it's a matter of what problem does that solve? Like sitting down to meditate or whatever it might be. Like, why should you live a slow and mindful? Why should you live more slow and mindfully? Hopefully that is the way to.
I love the fact, and this is something someone just did. As you see, there's a channel that actually named their channel after the search term, which means they come first, which I love.
That's smart. See, so this is about finances.
Yeah, so I'm getting thrown a little bit here.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. Like, what the intentional living for what? Because you could make that about anything.
Oh, there's Ali there.
Yeah,
Ali, of course.
But see that how a lot of these like solve a problem.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. People may need this advice, but they don't know they need it. So you have to come at this from a different angle.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's got to be. It's not like, because intentional living can mean a lot of things, as we've just seen from the search terms. But what you really want to be saying is how to get things done faster, how to lose weight and not fail, and now those type of things. Figure out what it is you're trying to say at the end of the day as far as what's in the video, and then put it around that. And of course, you can put in the description and stuff, things like intentional living and that sort of thing. But for the person who's going to actually want to watch your videos, maybe doesn't know it, market it a little differently.
Yeah, it's too general in that sense. Even though to them it makes sense, you have to think about general audiences sometimes as well, that it might not make sense to them. You know what I mean? And something that we may have to just focus in a little bit more on.
So Dan, I think you spoke about this really well in a video that you made a couple of weeks ago now about how to get a subscriber every day. But the real message behind that video is how to build the ideal viewer for your channel and pitch content to them every single time. So, for example, I'm just taking this off the top of my head here. The ideal person for this channel might be female, maybe 25 to 34. They're perhaps in their third job in their career. So they may be at perhaps middle management or a senior position, but they're starting to have a bit of an existential crisis in their life. They don't know whether to continue in the career or they want to do something more creative with their lives. They want to get onto the property ladder, but they're currently renting because they can't afford. We're going really specific here, but when you do that, then you really can start to as you say, solve specific problems in a person's or challenges in a person's life, as opposed to this broader intentional living aspect that the thumbnails and the titles are kind of advertising right now. Whoops,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do another claw.
Oh, you want another claw?
Yeah, all these people want this claw action.
What about this
they're
one?
quicksanding right now.
Yeah, we got 200 people to get in, 240 people to quicksand first.
We'll be here a while.
Slower than it is for other types of hashtags that I've seen over the last couple of weeks, but you know, it's not bad.
Camouflage Dave. Dove, sorry. Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
Read them real fast.
It'd be funny if the creator's name was actually Dave. Right, I'm guessing gaming channel.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think I was right. I'm seeing some danky meme stuff.
There's Crab Game. So that Danny channel I showed you earlier made Crab Game. It's pretty funny. The only reason we're playing GTA San Andreas, Boss Battle made Halo Infinite a horror game. So they're doing these really interesting titles and thumbnails, right? They have like these interesting things they're trying out with games. So they're not just, I'm not just going to play the game. I'm going to show you something cool about it. But then we run into like city skylines and Grand Theft Auto are like way different from one another. You know, Battlefield 2042 and Crab Game are way different from one another. There's some competitive aspects there, but other than that, you know, what it's like playing Crab Game with the lava and the people, like that one did really well. A lot of intrigue there. So I would be like, well, what else can I do? It's a very silly game. Like, what else can I do? It's a short too.
Yeah, I spotted that as a short video versus all of these. 4.5 minutes or longer, in some cases, significantly longer.
There's a lot of games like Crab Game 2 that are silly and competitive. So your channel could be that, you know, but you want to keep appealing to that person. Or Battlefield, or whatever it is you enjoy doing the most. But I would take these strategies you're implementing and put them towards like one thing.
Okay, so there's some editing going into it. Some dedicated effort there.
Can I prove my pro status? So like that's an interesting title, but it's not paired with an interesting thumbnail. Could you have shown an epic moment, you know, you making some kind of jump or something that kind of proves it up front? You know, people are like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or it's like a freeze frame of something that could go horribly wrong. They have to watch to find out, you know? So there's just these pieces missing, but it's all like there's all the makings of a great channel here. They just have to focus up more.
Yeah.
Another challenge of consistency as well. Seems to be some chunky gaps between publishing content. Like a month here, then 2 months there, 5 months. So never really getting into a consistent schedule, whatever that is for the creator.
Yeah.
Quicksand. Let's do another one.
Quicksand.
Up to 250 submissions now, which is incredible. What I'm finding fascinating is that the voting poll hasn't moved that much. Like the same amount of people still find quicksand a problem in your life. I mean, right now, at least 50% of you should be thinking quicksand is a challenge in your life since we're using it as a hashtag. You know, it is a barrier right now to your channel auditing.
That's right. That's right.
And you need to take it seriously. You know what? Sorry, just before we oh, is this a subgenre? No. Imagine 31 million views, blimey. Oh, what if you got stuck in quicksand? We'll be playing that afterwards. All right.
No thanks.
Let's have a look at this channel. Okay.
Oh.
Torches. An
Painting.
artist.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
nice.
Beautiful thumbnails. They just okay, wait a minute. Is this all their videos?
Yeah, over the course of a year or so, they took a big break. They started to get back into it a month ago.
Yeah, they're just now getting back into it.
Yeah. Nice. Acrylic painting techniques, easy. Interesting. This is one of those, once again, this is the thing with the painting crabs and then acrylic painting technique easy Okay, that's like keywords, but not a sentence. And then there's more title after that still. Uh-oh, Travis fell off there. Quicksand got him. But that's one of the things we're always talk about. This is obviously maybe a newer-ish creator, not not a ton of videos under their belt yet. But I like the thumbnails because they're expressive. They're showing exactly what it should be showing. So it's perfect, especially that third one, the painting a dream I have with vibrant colors. That should have been it. Like there should be no more to that title. Anything else that you're going to say should be in that description.
I would say it's a detractor as well because a time lapse, which is 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch a time lapse for 8 minutes. If it's a time lapse, it should be 2 minutes or less.
Right. So that's one of the things that sort of think about there, but very, very interesting. And that third thumbnail is like perfect because it shows the painting very clearly, but it also shows him actually painting it.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So I like the way that one's coming out. Obviously with art, you can't be sometimes the stuff takes time. Sometimes they need inspiration. My wife paints, she does acrylic painting, and sometimes it's some time in between them. So her having a consistency with it would be a little bit difficult if she was uploading on YouTube. But this is one of those things where that can definitely help if they're doing something regularly, whether it's acrylic or if they're doing portraits, because this new one's like painting my favorite artist, Van Gogh, and then portrait something. And this is what I mean about sometimes that stuff gets cut off, is like I have no idea what the rest of the context is here.
Portrait abstraction is the full title. Dan, do we suggest what this artist might call the sellout strategy of, instead of painting crabs or a dream, they think about something of a real world context, whether it be a famous landscape or a character from a film, etc., etc. How's this going to get broader appeal?
So painting a dream I have, the one thing people can't stand is hearing about other people's dreams. I kind of wonder if it could have been like, what is it? What was the dream you had? Could that have been a little more like searchable? I'm sure I can see it's a very beautiful piece of work. It's just, it's missing that, like, I got to watch this kind of grab,
There's an artist channel that has taken sort of that type of content. His name is Ross Draws. I've been watching him for a long time. And he'll come up. Yeah, Ross Draws. So, and he'll take some popular content and then make his version of it. Or he'll paint his friends into Titan characters, or drawing myself as the Little Mermaid shorts. Like, so, but this is kind of what he's done. Like, he's taken a lot of them and done his interpretation of like Metroid or whatever it might be. So just something that some artists aren't going to be into that. And this is the thing about artists, right? It's if they're not into it, they're not into it. But this is an example of somebody who is obviously very, very talented, but is also leveraging topics that are quote unquote trending, or at least have popularity or a wave of traffic behind them.
Dan, remind me, what did you say about this video again?
People don't like hearing about other people's dreams?
That was absolutely.
Let's see what this guy got. Maybe he got something interesting. Nope.
Oh no.
I'm here to crush your dreams.
Well,
listen. I'm here to crush your dreams and make new ones come about. Let me tell you something right now. The Savage Man is back, ladies and gentlemen. They try to stop me, and we had a new promo that was edited expertly, but unfortunately, Dan dropped the ball. He's a habitual ball dropper, and it's okay. It's okay. We'll get there eventually. It's all right. We're here. How's everyone doing? I'm listen. You're glad I'm here. I appreciate it, and of course, you appreciate me. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Savage. How are you this week?
I'm all right. Listen, I was out there skiing in the Alps. You ever been to the Alps?
Nope.
Me neither. I'm just joking with you. I've never been there myself. Anyway, let's get on to this. What's going on? What you guys been up to?
We've been auditing channels and giving fair feedback and constructive criticism. I feel as if that's about to change with you. Do you want a new
Hashtag.
How about Savage Alps? Why not?
All right.
I'm pretty sure most people are going to misspell it, which makes it funny. I think that's great.
Okay, so let me sort that out. So you
Onomatopoeia.
Can I help you? Yes, I can help you. Trust me. Family
so you
vibes, I can
want
help you.
Savage Alps.
I look at all the lemmings jumping off the bridge. They have no idea what they're in for. You should probably let them know, Rob, because they're lemmings jumping off a cliff into fire. It's hilarious.
So we're going to be honest, folks. We lied. We weren't going to give you fair channel audits for 2 hours. We're going to do it for the first hour and 3/4. But unfortunately, this man, this gentleman you see here, Dr. Savage, purchases 15 minutes of our time every single week to add his alternative discourse on the auditing world with his thoughts on your channel. So you submit to the Savage Alps hashtag at your own risk. Incredibly, we've already got 155 potential victims.
Kind of slow.
Let's draw away. Let's
do this. These YouTube streets or Savage shirts are selling out. Let me tell you something. We've sold so many of them. I just want you to see this. This is literally the hottest shirt on YouTube right now. These YouTube streets are Savage. Barry was here. All right, let's check out Barry was here. See what Barry was here all about.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Ah, there we go. Found
there he is. Barry was here. Looked like he. Oh my gosh. Well, he was here and he's gone. That's it. He was here 7 days ago and he was gone. That's the first time I ever come across a channel where the title of the channel is exactly right. Barry was here and he left. Appreciate you, Barry. It's nice seeing you. I hope you're having a great time today. And it looks apparently he died in his first video. That's great. Barry was here, but he ain't here now. Who else is here? Let's do some more Savage Ops.
Okay, succinct. Let's draw another one.
It's an accurate name for a channel.
It was true. That was actually factually correct.
I hope they get 1 million subscribers. That's Orange Facts. I saw that. Oh, Pocket Mark. You can fit Mark in your pocket. That's great.
Pokemon channel.
Pocket Marker. All right, what we got, Pocket Mark? How many subscribers? You got 9 subscribers. Look, can we get him to 10 subscribers? Can we get some people going there? Find Pocket Mark. I like that name, by the way. Let's get him to 10. Actually, matter of fact, let's give him to 20. Everyone in here, go ahead and subscribe.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
At the beginning of this, I'm doing a shout out. See, this is the way it works.
Because you just want random people who are not interested in Pokemon to subscribe to your 100%.
Channel, yeah? Because at the end, as soon as I'm done savaging his channel, I want them all to unsubscribe. I want him to have all of his dreams come all the way up. He comes and says, "Oh my God, I got 30 subscribers or 40 subscribers," and all of a sudden they're gone 5 minutes later. I love it. All right, what do we got here? Pokemon. Oh my God, I love Pokemon. She's so beautiful. All right, now let's see what else is about.
Oh my God.
Pokemon got a card game now. Oh wait, this is the nerd game. Never mind. I thought this was, my God, I was super excited for a second. This is that game with all them kids running around with their phones looking at strange people in the parks and stuff back in the day. What was this? 2018 called and they want their game back. What is? I did see something on the other day that one dude, he bought $3.5 million worth of fake Pokemon cards. What's that guy name? What's his name? Lloyd Bridge. No, what's that guy name?
Is it Logan Paul?
YouTuber. Yeah, Logan Paul. Good job, Logan Paul. $3.5 million of G.I. Joe cards. Did you see that, Rob?
I know that one passed me by.
That's hilarious. Yeah. This dummy went out there and bought a box, right? Basically a box. Yeah. He paid $3.5 million for them, thinking there were going to be a bunch of Pokemon cards in there. Opened it up. It was G.I. Joe. Now, by the way, G.I. Joe much better than Pokemon. But they ain't worth nothing, apparently, because he opened them up. And let me tell you something. All the expletives came right out. It was great. It's great to see a millionaire lose a lot of money. I love that. Okay. So what are we saying about this? Listen, Pocket Mark, how many subscribers you got now?
Yeah, I'm refreshing. Hey,
you got 30 subscribers. All right, everybody unsubscribe right now. Go ahead and unsubscribe. We'll give it about 2 minutes and then we'll go back and see if he has the 9. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. Like I said, his dreams have been made. He got to 30 subscribers in one day. Let's see how many we can get rid of. Now go ahead and get ready to refresh this. Everyone get ready to unsubscribe on 3. Unsubscribe on 3, 2, 1. Savagely unsubscribe. Go ahead and unsubscribe that channel and make my dreams come true. Let's see.
All right, let's refresh. Let's refresh.
Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Only 3 people did it. Oh, well. Y'all not very savage. All right, next one up. Let's get another
next
savage.
One. Okay. I hope we haven't ruined Pocket Mark's channel there.
Nah, he's probably all right.
Excuse me.
All right. What's going on here? Let's see who this is. Brian, what? B. Brian Blair, jumping Jim Bronzell. What we say?
Oh, the Killer Bees.
The Killer Bees. That's right. What's an MPQ? What does that mean?
I don't know. What is MPQ? It's a good question.
MPQ.
Marvel Puzzle Quest. All right.
Is that a game of some sort? What is this? Marvel
like
Puzzle.
Candy Crush with Marvel characters?
Yeah, looks that way.
Why would you do such a thing?
I mean, download this game.
I mean, listen, I like Marvel, and puzzle games are pretty cool too. What is that? Street Fighter puzzle thingy, bobber. You know that game? Remember that game?
Yeah, and I think Zookeeper was very similar as well. If anybody remembers that from the DS.
Yeah, puzzle game. That's right. But Marvel? I mean, come on now. Is that necessary? We talked about this, but remember Marvel? That we were talking about. What my favorite Marvel? What's your favorite Marvel movie there, Rob? Which one was your favorite?
I would say Avengers: Infinity War.
That was pretty good one. I like the Galaxy, Survivors of the Galaxy, whatever that. You know them with the big Batista. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I like them. And that blue chick, something else. Let me tell you, my God, I ended up buying all blue toothpaste after that. I had to just go ahead and get as close as I could. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next one. I'm not going to go much further into that. This is a PG show.
Do you want me to get an update on Pocket Mark?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at Pocket Mark. Where are you at, Pocket Mark?
Okay, let's just check.
You down 10 yet?
Let's just check.
Okay, y'all slow. Well, then fine. You get to have Pocket Mark in your subscriber feed from now on. Congratulations, you just lost.
Quality Pokemon content.
Yeah, Halloween Pokemon. Kayfabe Club. Oh, we know what that is. That DIY Garage School. All right, Mr. Fred. That's like the name of a high school teacher. Mr. Fred. Hey, Mr. Fred. Hi, Mr. Fred. You're going to detention. Oh, Mr. Fred. I hate you. Mr. Fred. Here we go. Dryer lint trap cleaning. Oh my God. Dryer living dry. You got 2 videos with dryer lint trap cleaning? Oh my God, he's doubling down on a subject. I mean, my God. Can you imagine if you had a YouTube channel that was all about dryer lint?
I'm gonna give a real piece of advice here. That video probably would have done better if it was like, this could burn your house down. Because it literally could.
Lint.
Yeah, dry. Like if you don't clean out your dryer, that could burn it all down.
Okay.
This is true. Can we find a video that shows that? I would love to see that.
Jeez.
Why not? Dryer lint fire. Put that in the YouTube.
Let's just put lint fire. Okay.
Fire starter. It's gonna give you the wrong type of video, Rob. You know how to use YouTube? Oh, there it is. Look, there it is. Dryer lint.
Oh.
There it is. Look at that. Boom. Permanent fire. Look, we told you. Look at this. That's a fire thumbnail if I ever saw one. Pun included. That's right.
Jeez.
My goodness gracious. Is lint, look at that. That's a better title. Look at that. Is dryer lint the best fire starter? That's a great video right there. Too bad you didn't think of that. Too bad. So sad. Mr. Fred, my high school teacher that I never really liked because, he always gave me C and I deserved an A most of the time. Anyway, Dr. Fred, Mr. Fred, go back to detention. I'm done with you. One more. We got time for one more on this. One more. That's all right.
Oh boy.
Y'all getting this for free too. I'm gonna charge you at the end. Y'all didn't unsubscribe to that cat real. Listen, you end up with a prize. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You go over there and got subscribed to someone now you can't remember how to unsubscribe. Look at that.
They're gonna get an invoice from Dr. Savage.
That's right.
You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
Was it the right Donnie Games?
Oh, sorry.
It probably
no,
is.
it wasn't. Sorry.
No, you picked the wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
Sorry, yeah.
Saying, we got more subscribers. Look at 273.
Hey.
This guy look, he got the YouTuber face. Can you think he walks around all day with them YouTuber faces? I bet he did. Look at that one off to the right, man. He looked like, can you imagine? Listen, he goes to Subway. They're like, I would like to get a Subway sandwich. And they're like, what would you like on it? Like, I like tuna. That'll be $3.95. Oh, like, oh my God. Oh God. Oh, like that YouTuber face is terrible. It is the worst YouTuber face I've ever seen in my life. And let me tell you something. Look, here's the thing. Donnie Games. We just talked about playing stupid games and stupid prizes. Let's see what else you got. This was timed perfectly. Yes, it was. It was indeed. Can you imagine? You know what you should just do? You should have a channel of your YouTuber face. That's all you do. Don't play no games. Just cycle through your faces.
Can you just do that again on full screen?
Ready? All right. So he goes to Subway. He goes, listen, I like to get me a tuna sandwich with extra cheese. They're like, okay, that'll be $27.95. Oh, $27.95. What? That's that YouTuber face, that shocked face. Like, what just happened?
I don't think you can top. I don't think you can top that. I think
all right. Well, we can get out of here. That's all right. Matter of fact, I got Subway waiting for me in the other room. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh! It's just like,
stop it.
Okay, sorry about that. We got it. Don't you worry. Like the savage face.
Or this one.
Oh dear.
That's the other YouTuber face.
Yeah, you're gonna catch me out with that next week, Savage. Are you?
All right,
Just
here we
gonna
go.
come on to the live stream. Ah!
We got that. That's good.
Shall we say goodbye to some people?
Let's do it.
Where are we? If anybody's still watching.
Oh, Junk's gonna get you.
Look forward to that. Yes. All right, Savage Apples.
I like that, Savage Apples.
Nice one.
I like their YouTuber face too.
The Flaming Gamer, you are more than welcome. Have a great rest of your day. Everybody's saying bye to Savage here. You're getting all
That's
the
right.
love.
That's a Savage cat back there, if you hear that.
A little too late, I'm afraid. Live 2 frames. We are done. Joy Fam, goodbye to you. T Ryan Learn. Savage Apples. Yeah, maybe we can get that trending on Twitter.
Where did that come from? What is apples? Did I say something about apples?
Please tweet that out. Hashtag Savage Apples at vidIQ.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of black out during these things. I don't even know what I said 5 minutes ago. So
yeah. Quicksand. Oh yeah, what have we taken away from this live stream? We've learned that quicksand has been a problem, certainly in Jeff's life, for a period of time. Nobody ever wants to watch a video about somebody else's dream. That was one. What else? What have you taken away from this, Jeff, today's live stream?
That quicksand really is not a problem in people's lives the way that 80s cartoons would have led you to believe.
Yeah. What have you taken away from this live stream, Dan?
I blacked out, like I've said, but the last 2 hours are gone.
Yeah. And Savage, what have you taken away from this live stream?
I think we all have learned a very important lesson. Never give Dan something important to do because he's going to drop the ball. You know, don't worry. Just don't do it to yourself.
You sent me like 12 intros. What was I supposed
like
to
all
do
of
with
them.
that?
Well, you keep liking them. I'm going to keep sending them to you.
But
What
you
want
keep
me to say?
using them for other. They have like all these different purposes.
Well, you should have taken the first one, man. What are you doing? Listen, it'll be here next week. Don't worry about it. We're going to fix it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Everyone's excited.
I wasn't worried.
We're going to premiere it. It'll be a 30-second premiere. It'll be a 3-minute premiere for a 30-second clip. I can't wait. Exciting. That's what Dan does on his channel, so we must be able to do it here.
Dan, do you want to talk about tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. You know, trends, the things that happen, and then no one cares anymore. We're gonna talk about that.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.